Okay, so the recording is on now. So let's see what else we have here. So we talked about how to so sooner or later you will get a message like this that there is an issue with the disk or whatever. So what you want to do is you might want it boots into the emergency mode here, right? When it boots into emergency mode, what you have to do is you have to log in and disable the whatever line you think it is in FS tab. Okay, or you could do the repair also. For the repair, I couldn't find a good example to corrupt it. Okay, you should run this command here. Run this command to repair in a real world scenario. By the way, Burhan, the question you had about using the labels and UUID, I checked into a bunch of servers at work. They're not using that. Okay, so the information I showed you is just informational, so that you know there is an option too. And most of the time they're using just like this here. They're using this information. The good example is when they're mounting in FS tab. So they're just using the VG information here. Where is that? Where is that? FS tab. So they're using information like this when you mount it into the FS tab. Okay, so you run this in a real world scenario, just like this. And then I think to make the system writable. So when the system boots into the emergency mode, it loads into the read-only mode. So why is it loads into the read-only mode? Let's see here. So here, if you look into a system initialization, so the first stage of bootloader passes. The second stage, VM Linux kernel also loads the drivers. Kernel file starts the first process. Okay, there is one time here it loads into okay, so over here, so in this process here, number 11 process, the system is converted from the read-only mode to read-write mode. Okay, that's why when the system halts, it's only read-only mode. Okay, so for you to switch to read-write mode, what you have to do is you have to type the command and I thought I put it here, right? Didn't I? Run mount -a. Okay, so I'm going to put a command in here. Okay, so the command to system halts and goes into emergency mode. So here, system emergency mode is in read only mode. Okay, so you have to run this command here, mount -o remount comma rw and a slash. Command to load system into read write mode. So you can edit fs tab, etc fs tab. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight this. Okay, all right, good. So now we are done with this troubleshooting here. So let's move on to the disk duplication, and I'll talk about what disk duplication is. Let's see here. So the file system. You run that command. For ext, you run this command here, right? Okay. What I'm gonna do is 11/28/2020 and disk duplication. Okay, so this is a very useful command, and this command is coming down from the Unix era. Okay, so what it does is dd command does the exact photocopy of source to destination. Okay, this is what it's designed for. Okay, but what it could also be used is several other things you could use this for. Okay, so let's see what I'm going to do here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do lsblk. I have this disk here, right? I have sdd and then I have some data in here, right? MNT. So let's me go into cd slash MNT. I see ls. Okay, so there is no data in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some files in there. Okay, so what are the files I'm going to do is touch file. I'll explain this during how this exactly working when we do scripting. So I have about 10,000 files in here, right? So I have 10,001 files or 10,000 files, whatever. So clear, I do lsblk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the disk duplication here. So this disk, for example, is failing. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to copy, let's do this here. This disk has like this disk has 3 partitions in it. So I'll show you how this duplication works. So let me copy that. So that's the source, and this is the destination here, SDF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the command dd. Okay, the command is dd, and I said if equals. IF stands for input file, and what is the input file you want to do? Remember, in Linux everything is file. So what is the specific name file associated with SDB? dev/sdb. Okay, and then output file, what is the output file you want to give? OF equals dev/sdf. Okay, so in this case what you're doing is you're doing the exact disk duplication here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure what will happen is it will even copy the UUID. Okay, but I will verify once we have run this here. So let's go ahead and run this. So it's going to take whatever time it takes. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put this command in here. Okay, let me break down this command. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is dd if equals dev/sdb of equals dev/sdf. Okay, so this is OF stands for output file. Okay, and if equals stands for input file. Okay, and then this is the command. So what is happening here is the dd command is going to run through everything in here and then make an exact duplicate to this copy here. and it will still have some space left in here. So when you're doing the disk duplicate from exact one drive to another drive, make sure the drive should be same size or higher in capacity, okay? And the source file is so when you're doing disk duplication, is independent of file system. Okay, what I mean is you could attach a input file as a Windows, for example, Windows hard drive, right? And then the output file, it could be the Windows hard drive. The output file will be the exact replica of this drive here. So what I'm trying to say is, in fact, I have tested it many times here. If my computer crash, which does, my computer crashed many times. So all I do is I have a physical computer here, which is running Linux on it, right? I shut down the computer. So inside, if you go inside a computer, you would have cables and power cables and SATA cable that you could add multiple drives in it. So if you have like a Dell, I'm talking about desktop here. If you have a desktop, you are very well be able to do what I'm telling you here. So you attach two drives, source and destination, and then when you power it up back up here, you will see whatever drive in here, you will see as SDB and SDD. Okay, and based on that, if it's a Windows drive, I think it will show you as unknown or something, but it will still do the disk duplication. Okay, this is a good way. If you have friends or family, if they lost all the data and then the computer crashed, what you do is bring it home, plug it in, and then run that. Run this command, and you should be able to copy the data over to the new. What it's doing is just the exact photocopy. That's what it is. So you should be in a better position. Most of the time, if you have like a hard drive failing, if there is a 1 or 2 sector on the hard drive which is physically failing, this is what you should do. Okay, it will do an exact duplication, and then it will skip any bad sectors, and then it will copy over everything over to you. And this is exactly what, when you take your hard drive to data recovery places, they'll charge you like $3,000 or something on average to do a data recovery for you, okay? And this is what they do. First thing they do is disk duplication. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Okay, so it cost, you could make up to $2,000 here. If you have like a doctor office or somebody who lost some data and then they really need the data back, I mean, the data recovery places, they'll charge you like up to $3,000, even more, depending on the size. But if you know a doctor or somebody who need to keep the data on the drive, tell them that you're going to help us and then bring it home and run this command here. Okay, that's the quickest way you could make some good money. Okay, so I'm not even kidding, it's gonna do a really good job for you. You'll be surprised how exact that this duplication works, but it's kind of taking a little longer here. So what I'm gonna do is let it sit there, and I'm gonna show you how to create a single file using the disk duplication. Okay, so I'm gonna do is, let me open it in a new session. So that process is running in the background, so I'm gonna open new session here. I'm gonna say root, I'm gonna log in as Red Hat. Okay, and then I do clear. So what I'm gonna do is so let's see here. I want to show you how do you create a single file here. Okay, so this is something you should know, because what will happen is sometimes the network is gonna sometimes you need to troubleshoot. Sometimes you're from one server to another server, you may get a complaint that there is a latency. Latency meant slowness. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to create a blank file and try to transfer somewhere else. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do is use a disk duplicate to create a large blank file. Okay, so let me show you how you do that. So lsblk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do dd input file equals /dev/0. Okay, and output file equals, I'm gonna give the name of the file. Okay, and then before that, let me see, where am I at? So let me get rid of everything from here. So what I'm gonna do is dd equals if equals dev/0, and then output file equals, I'm gonna give the name Zafar1. Okay, and I'm gonna give count equals 1. How many files you're creating? bs byte size equals, I'm gonna say 2G. So with this command, what I'm gonna do is I'm creating a file named Zafar1, and then the size I'm gonna create is 2 gigabytes. I'll hit enter, and then it should create a file which would be about 2 gigabytes. So 2 gigabyte size file is a pretty sizable file. You could use it for troubleshooting the network here. So I'm gonna show how we're gonna use this when we come to the troubleshooting part. But let's see here if this is gonna move any faster than it is. Okay, so this one is done. So what I'm gonna do is let me copy this. Okay, look at it here. So the records in and records out are exact match. That means it is a good indication that we have a successful disk duplication. So let's see here. So when you have exact something like this, that means a good indication that it has worked here, and it says it copied 17 gigabytes total here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do lsblk. Okay. Okay, so in here it did an exact duplicate here. SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. Okay, and it's going to do the same thing here also. Of course, the name is going to be different because it's a different hard drive. But if you look at SDF1, it's exact replica. It's 8 GB. And it says the same thing, 8 GB, 4 GB, 2 GB, right? 8 GB, 4 GB, 2 GB. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be back in a minute here. What do you want? The camera removed? Okay, I'm back here. Sorry about that. So let me copy this here. Now what I'm going to do is clear this. I'm going to do BLK ID. So we are worried about SDB1 and SD3, right? So okay, so let's compare this here. So if you compare the UUID, look at this UUID here. Last octet here is the same as, is it same, right? It looks same to me. Yep. So even the UUID is copied over. So it's doing the exact disk duplication. There is no chance that this is not a disk duplication. Okay, so this is one use. Okay, so another use is to create a large file. Okay, so what you want to do is, where is the other page? Okay, so this is to create another large file. So this is what you use to create a large file here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is dd if equal /dev/sd. So what happened here is when we type dev/sd dev/0, dev/0 is it comes with the system here. Okay, so what it did was it copied over, it created one file which has nothing but zeros in it. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm able to cat the file, but we'll take a look. So the count, it says the count here. So you might want to try to put how many files you want to do. So I put in count equals 1. You could do 2 also. I'm not sure. I've never tried it. I usually use it for count equals 1. It creates one file, and then the byte size equals 2G. This is the command, and this is the input and output file. And then this is count. Okay, so what happened here is if you do ls and then you do ls-l, there is a large file in there, about 2 gigabytes. It says 2 GB.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So why did this similar command you just ran right now, when you did that to the SDD1 disk, it corrupted the block, right?
So similar command is, why is it doing duplicate, is because over here we replaced the output. We directed it to the file, okay? But over here, output we directed to the drive. Is that the question, or you have different question?
I had a different question. Last class, when we corrupted the file, right? When we wanted to corrupt it,
Yeah.
you used the dd if equal to 0, the same one you just ran right now, but instead of the output file, you used SDD1,
Yeah.
and it corrupted it.
Yeah, it's a dangerous command. If you do it, it will write one single 0. Let's see how much we did it. Let's see here.
You just passed it.
I passed it, yeah.
It's right there.
No, it's up here. Removed target LVM unmount emergency mode. Okay, here, where is it? Right here, yeah. So we did like byte size 1K. So when we write a 1 single 0, and it kind of destroyed. So as you might have known, right, if the single sector or if a single byte on the drive is corrupted, is going to cause major problems. So what we did was we took dev/0 and make it like 1 kilobytes, and we took out one sector or byte. So if you look at the diagram here, how it's a little confusing, but let's see if I look at this here. So the track, cylinders, so we took out sector. So number A, about this semicircle, this part, this arc is a sector here. So we took out one of them randomly in here, and it corrupted the file. It corrupted the disk actually.
So you took one of the sectors from dev0 and you outputted it into SDD1 and it corrupted it?
Yep, it corrupted it. Okay. So now, yeah, so it corrupted it, and when we rebooted it, we have to, why did it went into emergency boot? Because one of the disk is detected during the boot process to be corrupt. So it went into emergency mode. Then we have to mount into rewrite mode, and then general rule of thumb is run mount -a. So you could do that in emergency mode also. When you do that in emergency mode, it tried to mount it. It gave us this information here that dev/sdwin mount failed. So that's a good indication that you're gonna have to work on this. Okay. So in general terms, if it's not this command here, it may have got corrupted for some other reason. Okay, this is what happens here. When the hard drive is writing data to the, when system is writing data to the hard drive, okay, it's randomly throwing it on the hard drive. It doesn't care where it saves it. The only way it's tracking is through the inodes. Okay, so what is happening here is normally you won't see the option like this. Somebody wrote 0 to it, okay, because only the admins will have access to dd command. So other reasons could be is during NFS file system, or the system got disconnected from network abruptly. So the files which is supposed to be written got interrupted. So it instead of making it go bad even more, so it halts itself. So when the system reboots, you should be able to run this command like this here. Okay, this command has a very good success rate. I wouldn't say 100% because hard drives do fail in real world scenario. They fail all the time actually. They fail all the time. Um, so I would say the success rate for running this command is about 90%. Okay, 90% successful.
So if you run this command once, let's say a file is being written and it got halted because it got disconnected from the network, then what would happen once this repairs it, if it is successful? What does it do to the file?
So what it does is if the file is partially written, it just removes it.
Okay.
Because or it isolates, is it will isolate that sector, so that sector is not readable in future, writable in future either. Quarantine. Let's use this word. There is actually a technical term, quarantines the bad sectors. Okay.
So the reason the disk is getting corrupted is because it's throwing the sector in there randomly without any kind of
Yep.
knowing where it's going with tracking besides the inodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So writing an operating system is not a joke. It is well thought out process here, and people are who are writing it and collaborating. Microsoft is coming with like Windows 10. It takes years and years, and an army of coders. All those people, they're working tirelessly. I mean, I won't be surprised a single update to come up from Microsoft. It takes like thousands of programmers to work on one single update. So there are a lot of built-in features in there. Sometimes I myself is surprised. Oh, okay, you should. Sometimes those things are already built in. It will surprise me also. But you never know. You'll never gonna be capture the technology. Okay. It will get you. Sooner or later, you won't be. Even if you're like trying to stay ahead of the curve, there's so many things that will come out every so often. In fact, it will come out by the time you buy a computer, it's already obsolete, okay? The technology is already obsolete. I think there is a Moore's law. Moore's law, right? If we take a computers 101, the Moore's law, it states that the technology is obsolete, doubles itself. Moore's law is observation number. So now some industry expert with Moore's law is no longer applicable. It's over in. Okay, So what Moore's law was when I learned in school was every 18 months the technology doubles itself, and the computer at that moment is already obsolete. That's what the Moore's law was.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm really happy that you're coming with all these questions here. That means you're getting the subject, which makes me really happy. So yeah, so if it's most of the time, if it's not ext4, is going to be xfs. Okay, xfs underscore repair, right?
Sure. So if you were to use this DD for a regular file, nothing bad will happen, right?
So the one we created now is I just created a one large file here. So it's actually a file, but let's see if we could cat in there. I kind of created too big file here. Okay, you know what? Let me stop this. Let me run the dd command. Zafar 2, and then I'm gonna say m. Okay, it already created. Yeah, there is nothing in there. It's blank file.
Okay. Is there a safe way to do the dd command for a disk or no? Will it always corrupt it?
Well, the dd command, what do you want to do? Like disk duplication?
Yeah, like to duplicate any kind of information to a disk, would that automatically just corrupt it or no?
So if you are in emergency mode, this is pretty safe. To repair the disk, this is safe here. But if the disk is beyond, if XFS repair is not working, what you have to do is you have to take the physical hard drive out and run this command here, okay? But you got to be very careful here. Make sure you do your homework. Do lsblk or dd blkid to make sure you're doing the correct, you're copying the input file and output file are the one you intended to do, okay? If you do it backwards here, then you're dead in water. You're going to destroy the data on the file you're trying to recover from. So this is where your Linux skills is going to come in, okay? So you have to be absolutely sure that this is the corrupt file, the corrupt disk, and this is a good disk that you're trying to make a duplicate on. Okay, did you get it? Or you have more questions?
I think I get it.
Okay, so now I told you before here, all these things, the Microsoft is auto-correcting itself. So when you are practicing it, make sure you're putting in the lowercase all the time. So this thing is exact replica of this here. Okay, so now what I did here is I want to copy. We'll use this when I'm going to show you how to do some network troubleshooting between two computers here, okay? If you transfer 1 megabyte of file, it's nothing, right? It just copies over in no time. But if you have a file which is about 2 gig and is copying from one server to another server, there you could take a look when we're going to run the TCP dump command and see how the output comes in there, okay? So one heads up is there's always going to be, when the system is running slow, it will come to Unix people, because before it goes to network, it comes to us. You have to do your troubleshooting and blame it on network here, because once it goes to the network, then they will gonna ask you to do TCP dump and all that, which I'm going to show you later. So you have to make sure the physical or the VM you're working on has no local problems. If it's a network problem, then you give it to the network people. This is where it comes in. When you transfer file from one server to another server, okay, and then between those two servers, the file is moving, but it's very slow, then you capture that and give that information to the network team. Now, what else you could do is you could transfer the file between two known good servers and say, hey, these two servers, source and destination servers, are working just fine. Now the source and the other destination server which has problems is not working fine. So there's a problem in the network. Okay, so you usually work with other teams back and forth and resolve the issue. Okay, so I created this one big blank file here. So this is good for network troubleshooting, okay? So now I'm gonna show you officially if you want to wipe the drive. If you want to wipe the drive, okay, so if you want to wipe the drive, so I do, so this drive I no longer need it. I want to wipe it out. So what I'm gonna do is dd/dev input file equal dev/sdb. No, actually 0. And then output file is equal dev/sdb. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I used the command earlier. I took out only 1 byte size, right? About 1 kilobyte was that? What was it? Yeah, this command I used it to just take out 1 byte, 1 sector. Byte size is 1K and count is 1024. So I took out 1 sector. So if you don't put anything after this, that means let me expand this window a little bit. What?
When will you be done?
5.
No, like break.
No break today because I started late. So what I'm going to do is this duplicate input file equal dev/sd0 actually, and output file equal dev/sdb. Okay. Okay, so this is a very dangerous command here, guys. I'm telling you. Don't do it if you're not sure what you're doing here. Okay, so what this command does is it will write the entire disk, all zeros on it, okay? And if you hit enter, it will write the disk zeros. So what will happen is it's even taking out the metadata. This is the lowest level of disk. This is the lowest level of disk wipe, okay? You probably heard, if you're in IT for a few years, you probably heard you need to wipe the data off the disk before it gets shipped back. So this is what you're doing here. So when you do this, all the data will be gone here. There is no way you could recover it. So actually this is really good if you have some data to hide from police, if you're in trouble with police or FBI or something. Run this like couple times over and then it's dead in water. All data is gone. There is no way anybody could ever recover. I guarantee that. And I also guarantee that when police comes and get your computer, right? This is the command they do, is take your drive and make multiple copies and make sure they have enough data saved here. They take the drive and then copy it so that they have enough duplicates. It just because you never know if the original drive is going to crash or whatever. But this drive is very good command to destroy the data. I'm pretty sure if you're in trouble with police, yeah, run that through a couple times, and there is no way they will ever be able to get it.
So where is this file located? The dev/0.
In the dev folder.
In the which folder?
Yeah. Let's go in there. So, you have to guide me how to get there. So where do I go? It's in dev folder. So how do I go in dev folder?
You gotta go to the before the root.
Yeah, /dev. You could go like this, or go directly dev, and you have all the devices in there. Okay. You could also use random too. Random is really good command too. I mean, random is really good. All it's gonna do is it's gonna fill the hard drive with nothing but garbage.
Okay.
So if you do ls-l, so right here the 0 is all the way in the bottom, and look at the size here, it's nothing, it's barely anything. And where is random? I wonder if I could have run random and be able to recover the. I need to check my old notes here. Let's see here. Random. macOS. This is somewhat of me to answer. Pedestrians, no. Well, whatever. I mean, here's the thing here. Most of the time in real world scenario, you'll get this option here, and you will be after fixing the XFS repair, and then use this command to create a large file to do the network troubleshooting. Okay, these two are real world scenario, and then the wiping the drive. When would you use this? When the system is decommissioning, because almost every company in fact when I was working at Apple, what Apple used to do is they will destroy run this command, and then they will shred the drive. The bad drives, what they do is they'll shred it. Just to make sure, they'll shred into like, they'll actually powder it, shred it and powder it. So there is no way the data is going to be. So most of the big corporations, if they really care about the data, especially the financial institutions, what they do is they run this command, wipe it, and then reuse the drive again. And when the drive has physical problems, they try to run this, and if it's successful, on top of that, the drive is shredded. Before that, they also use a magnet too. If you ever put a magnet on a hard drive, it's going to destroy the data. Okay, if you put a magnet on a hard drive, like a speaker, if you open up a speaker, it has like a really strong magnet in it. If you run that couple times over the hard drive, it's over. The magnet inside the hard drive is destroyed. I'm sorry, because the data, when the hard drive is writing the data, it's using the electromagnetic information here. So I don't know how all those things work. It's electromagnetic. So if you run a magnet on it, it will destroy the data. You have seen all this here, right? A hard drive, you have opened a hard drive in your life. So this, if it's a physical hard drive, most of them are SATA. So this is the arm which is going back and forth, very high speed. It's writing the data here, and you have like 3 disks underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. This one. So what it does is it will write the data, and it's using the electromagnetic force to write the data onto this disk. And if you run a magnet on it, it's over. The data is gone, or at least corrupted for sure. But anyway, I mean, that's a little bit off topic here. So let's see here. So all these are part of a dev, that means device. A device could be a really physical device, or it's a software device here. Okay, so all this in here are software device. At the same time, our regular devices are sitting in here also. So these are all our physical drives, physical hard drives. They are sitting in here, and the partitions also. The partitions which are sitting on a physical hard drive is here. And what is this? I don't even know what these things are. Okay, so there are a lot of things in here. I'm showing you a lot of things, but I'm not showing you everything. Okay, so you will discover a lot of things later on. So what happened here is the disk is destroyed here. So DD writing to disk, no space left. So yeah, it keep on writing, and it will definitely give you this message here. This is a normal message because it doesn't know when to stop, right? It does not know. I mean, It does not know when to stop. So it tried to write when it reached this number, and then after that is going to give you this message. All right, so the disk is gone. All the data is gone, but the disk is reusable. All right, so next thing we're gonna work on is so let's see here. You guys want some break, or I could continue on?
Take a 5 minute or 10 minute break to reset our brain.
Yeah, okay. We'll take 10-minute break. All right. The break starts now. Okay. So we are done with this topic here. Now what I'm gonna do is now we're gonna go into a different area. Now I'm gonna show you actually how to go into from one server to another server, establishing a connection between two servers. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is okay. So go ahead and shut this down, and we're gonna duplicate this server. Okay. Let me make sure I covered everything before I shut this down. This duplication. Okay. Did I already showed you how to name the server host name? Everybody with me, right? So, okay, let's go ahead and shut the system down. And let's clone this. Okay, so practice is off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just look something up here. Okay, so all this is good. Cancel this. So go ahead and right click on and then click clone, and the name here, give the name ZMPT02. Okay, next, and full clone, and I'm going to go ahead and clone that. Okay, so go ahead and turn practice also, turn that one on, and ZMPT02 also on, both of them on. So we have both boxes running, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-log in to the one which we are already working. I'm gonna say root Red Hat, and I'm gonna type host name CTL. It gives the good information about the server you're working with. And then this is EMPT1, minimize it, and this is EMPT2, right? So I'm gonna go in root Red Hat, and I'm gonna do IPA 192.168.56.250. Uh-oh. This one is 250, right? So everybody go ahead and go into bond 0. We're gonna make bond 0 DHCP, okay? Clear the screen. cd/etc/sysconfig network script ls, and you have bond 0, right? ifcfg hyphen bond vi ifcfg bond 0, and in here comment out the last one. You could delete it too, but a good rule of thumb is just leave it what's in there, comment it out, and type DHCP. So this will be a randomly generated number, IP address. So let's see here. I'm gonna save and exit. I'm gonna clear. It's better to restart here. Go ahead and restart the system. Okay, log in. Okay, so the IP is 109 here. Okay, we are good for our lab here, but in real world scenario, this will be a static IP address. You have to physically appoint it. But you already know how to physically assign the IP address and all. But I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so I will open another party session. And I'm going to say 192.168.56.109. And here I'm going to say ZMPT02 cap. Let me put it in cap ZMPT02, okay, so that I could see it better. And then I'll save it. So it's there. I double click on it. All right, let me know who needs help here so that we can move forward unless you're ready for this. Okay. So before I move forward, everybody caught up or need help? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Anybody there?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. I'm still on the CDETC config, but you were too fast on typing the command, so I wasn't able to do the 0 on it. So that's where I'm stuck at.
Yeah, so tell me where you're at. I'll wait for you.
So where I am right now is I'm trying to put the command for the bond 0, so I can bond both of the clone and the practice, the ZMP2 and the practice together. That's where I'm at right now. But
yeah, give me TeamViewer. I want to watch what you're doing before we move forward.
Okay.
Is that 188, right? Your number is usually?
Yeah, let me put my TeamViewer back on.
Rat, I can't hear you. It might be a mic problem.
It's 539. 469-209-539.
Okay. Now the password?
32Q3YE.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah, and minimize WebEx. Okay, so now you're which host you're in? Did you connect to ZMPT2 already, or you probably have not connected to ZMPT2 yet, right?
I'm running ZMPT2 and also the practice one. That's what you were doing earlier. So now I'm trying to I logged in into root host. So
but which one is which one are you in using the party one?
I'm using practice the party.
Okay, yeah, that's a good place too. So yeah, go ahead in there. Make sure you give the space at right place. A CD, then there is a space there. Yeah.
Oh, that's on the command format.
Yeah, CD network hyphen script. Type S and push the tab key so that it copies. Push the tab key. See, now hit enter. I think I told you to get in a habit of using tab key.
Yes, sir. You did. You did.
Now do ls.
LS-H?
No, ls-l. No, just do ls. Oh, you don't have bound 0 here, do you? You do ls, do IP space a, IP a. Yeah, so you're getting, yeah, you don't have to do that because you already have this in here. So the IP address you could use is 192.168.156.108. Okay, go ahead and type into go into ZMPT2. Yeah, this is okay. Go into the VM directly.
So you want me to open another party or?
No, go in here. Yeah, this one. Log in there.
This one?
Yeah. Because you don't know the IP yet, right? Because you need to find the IP before you get in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here the IP is 110. So you're good. You don't need to worry about too much. Oh, wait a minute. Hold. 110 and 109. Okay, hold on. What was the IP here? Okay, IP is here is 107 and 108. Okay, yeah, you're good. You're good. So you're using the dynamic IP here. So what you want to do is just look for one IP 110, minimize this, and you could have this open also. Bring up new party session. Click on yeah. Yeah, right click actually on the top bar, right click in there and new.
Which we said right click where? I'm trying to start a new session.
Yeah, right there. New session, yep. And give the IP address 192.168.56.110. And then in the save session name, give it a ZMPT02. And save it. Okay, then double click on ZMPT02, see if it could allow you to connect. Yeah, it's connecting. Yes. Root, then log in. Okay, good. All right, you good.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Burhan, you good, right? So now, if you do host name, I think I already showed you this before, but for you, Ali, go ahead and go here. So what you need to do is, you will be localhost, right? So go do vi/etc/hostname.
You want me to go to localhost for ZMPT or practice?
Because you may have to go for both. You have to go in there and go into the practice, give it, practice is going to be ZMPT1 and the other two would be ZMPT2.
Okay.
Which one are you on right now?
I'm in ZMPT2 right now.
Okay, yeah, just follow me. Do VIETC/host name, right? And hit enter. Whatever you have in there, you should delete that. And then go into insert mode and then type exactly like me, zmpt02.prod.zmprotech.com.
Okay. So you want me to delete localhost.local?
Yep, delete that. No need for that.
Let me go to insert mode. Insert mode is correct. I'm having a brain freeze today. For some reason, it's not going in the insert mode.
Yeah, push I once. Down on the bottom, it will say insert.
Okay, so you want me to type in ZMPT02?
Yeah. ZMPT02 dot prod dot zmprotech.com.
Okay.
Okay, save and exit. Escape :shift X. Then go ahead and restart the system. Do that to the practice one too. Make sure practice one is ZMPT01 dot prod dot zmprotech.com.
And the command is VIETC.
Yes. It's on my screen now. You could see it.
I'm almost there, sir.
Okay.
Okay, on the screen, you want me to change it to ZMPT1 .pro.zmprotech.com. Is that what you want me to type in there?
For practice, yeah, ZMPT1.
ZMPT1.pro. Okay.
The new one you created should be ZMPT2.
Yes, sir. I already did that one.
Yeah, that one is done.
Is it ZMPT01 or ZMPT01? Get out of this. Okay. Okay, to get out of that page, it's escape control column X, right? Is that correct, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm typing. For some reason, it's not letting me out.
What do you see? It will give you a message in the bottom.
Yeah, it's not giving the message. After I press the escape, it's not giving me the message at all.
Do shift colon gently.
I guess I have to be softer. Okay. Let me not shut it down.
Yeah, then reboot. Yeah.
All right. So both of them are rebooted right now.
Okay, so if I log in here, restart. See, now if I do host name, I should have ZMPT02 and then the other one is ZMPT01. Okay, so this is how. So this will be part of the, for example, this is production here, right? So you will have this, you have like several servers in the group. So it will extend to like ZMPT01, ZMPT02. It will be part of a cluster. Don't worry about cluster. I'm not going to teach about that. But so you will have like up to 100 in one business unit would have like up to 100 servers in one cluster. You know what I mean? So this is how the naming conventions work. But if it's like prod means production, then you will have dev, DEV. That means it's a development server, okay? And if you have something like this, test, this is a test server. Before everything goes into production, it goes into development and all this good stuff, okay? This is normal. Dev, test, another one is deployed. Sorry, I'm sleepy. Devel, dep, something like this. And then there usually is like SND. is usually like sandbox or something. That's what it's called here. So this one is production server. So all the nomenclature, the naming convention is neatly organized in the IT department here. So just by looking at the server name, you could tell this server is production, development, or whatever, and you have to approach with caution. Okay. No, you have to approach the production server with much more caution. Approach everything with caution, but production even more. The name says it all, right? Deployment, and this is sandbox. Usually sandbox is owned by us. So all the other servers, test and sandbox, could be owned by us here. So development and production is owned by the business. And then the other one, it doesn't require anything. You just need an email or something, some kind of authorization, okay? All right, so when you go into the environment, this is how it's going to be split up. Usually this part would be the company name, or this part would be the business unit, and this will be the development, what kind of server is that, and this one will be the company domain. Okay, now if you want to, look up, some good information, you type host name CTL. So what is this showing here is, this is the host name, is not going to change, and this information is usually computer icon. It says here it's whatever, if it's a hardware it says computer, and then the chassis is the important one. It says chassis is VM, that means this is a virtual machine. If it says Dell, IBM, HP, or Supermicro, then this is just by looking at this information, you could tell, oh, okay, this is a physical box, and this is a UUID, and this is a boot UUID. So let's say cat etc fs tab. Is it the UUID matching with the, okay, so here it is showing you the UUID also. See, the UUID is important. The boot UUID is showing up here as a information. Okay, this is machine UUID, means machine hardware, and it says virtualization is using KVM. KVM is a part of a process used by Oracle and Red Hat. It's called kernel virtual machine. We're not going to go into that. Amazon EC2s are running in KVM. Okay, I'll talk about that EC2 when I cover AWS. This is, you know how Amazon is saying like, oh, everything is in cloud, this, cloud, that. It's all Linux. Okay, without Linux, they won't be able to turn profit. And the dominating Linux most of the time is Red Hat, the one you're learning. And by the way, this is the same exact replica what I have at work here. So the Linux kernel version, all this is same exact. You shouldn't be surprised when you go into work and see the same exact thing, which is very familiar to you, okay? And then the kernel version, and then the architecture. So this is just informationally. I think I already have it here. Okay, so what do I need to do is actually do like this here. Just leave it alone. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to SSH connect from one server to another server, okay? So what is this topic called is SSH. This is called secure shell. It's a built-in program we are using to do SSH. So what is PuTTY doing is PuTTY is also doing SSH. So we here, if you see here, we have the connection type we are making is SSH from here. From the local computer to here, we are making a SSH connection. Is called secure shell. And so what is it gonna do is let's take a look at the picture. Yeah, this is a good picture.
Can we stop for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me know you're back.
Okay.
Okay. So what is going to happen now is we're going to connect between, you're going to establish the connection between the two servers here, okay? So the SSH process, it happens like so fast, but in reality, there's complex things is happening. So what happens is ZMPT1 is going to send the handshake, it says client initiate the connection by contacting the server. So on the server, on the network, it will find the server and then it will connect it. Okay, and then what it does is this ZMPT02, it will send the public key. Okay, so what happens is then it will negotiate the channel. It will set up a secure channel, and then the user have to provide the username which is already on ZMPT02. Okay, you're connecting from here in ZMPT02, then you will be connected and taking over ZMPT02 because user log in to the server host operating system. Okay, if you don't know the username and password, it will deny the service. But if you do logged in as root, it will automatically take your user information as root, and I will tell you to put in the root password on ZMPT02. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. Before that, let me get the IP addresses. So ZMPT02 is the IP address is 192.168.109. This is 109 and ZMPT01 IP address is 250. Okay, it's right in the middle. I'm gonna do that, and let me grab this here. So it's visible. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do the do this here, copy from one place to another place here, right? So let me minimize this here, and I'm gonna keep ZMPT2 on the right side, and then let me keep ZMPT1 on the left side. Okay, so what is going to happen now is I'm going to do, we don't have DNS set up here, so we cannot use IP. We could, in future, we're going to be able to use SSH dot, and then you could use the IP, this thing. But since we don't have the DNS name in here, I'm going to use SSH, then the IP address 192.168.56.109. Okay, So one side to other side, I'm going to hit enter. Voila, it got the fingerprint. So fingerprints are getting exchanged here. So I'm already on to number 3. It sends the connection and it sends the public key and it sends the negotiating parameter. Negotiating parameter is when you say yes, are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So here's the key. Fingerprint is being exchanged here. Okay, and so it sends one fingerprint and both of them are exchanging the fingerprints. And then you have to type yes. Now you have to type the root password for this box here. Okay, if the root password is not correct, it will deny the access. So I'm going to say red hat, which is my secret password, and hit enter. It says the connection is successful. Now if you look at here, your root at ZMPT02. So right now you're logged into ZMPT02. So you're connecting from one server to another server, and you're going to control whatever you want. You have the full access here since you're root. Okay, I don't worry about too much about it. The only thing you need to worry about it is it's a handshake. It's a 3-way handshake. 1-way, 2-way, 3-way. Sync, syncac. I'm gonna explain that a little bit deeper when we see the networking.
So the first fingerprint is coming from the server that you're trying to connect to, right? The first one that's listed.
The first one is from us. First one is from ZMPT1.
Okay.
And the second one is from ZMPT2. So here, this is the key. So the keys are getting exchanged here. So it sends. So it initiates the connection here. So we cannot see the connection. Authenticity of the host can be established. This is a warning message. Okay, you will see the warning message 192. Because why is it saying is it's all those things. Sometimes these are legal things here, right? They'll just put in the legal for CYA. But this is it sends the public key is from ZMPT2, and then no, I'm sorry, the first one is from ZMPT1, the second one is ZMPT2, and then this is number 3. This is where it's stuck at. The client initiates the connection by contacting the server. At the same time, it is sending, it's not showing in the picture here, but same time it is sending the key. This is number 3. And this is number 2. And this is number 1. Okay, and warning added list of. Okay, now what it's doing is it actually added the list of. It will next time is not going to add this message here because it kept the passkey in the place here. I'll show that where it keeps the record of the passkey. Okay. Once your trusted source, it keeps the passkey. Passkey in the sense is the token. Okay, so Okay. Now I'm gonna exit. If I try to do that again, all it's gonna do is gonna ask the password here. Okay, so I'm gonna exit here, clear. If I do ls, it's not here, right? If you do ls-a, aha, we have this hidden folder that was just created here. ls-la. Look at the date and timestamp here. It was created 1747 into this profile here. So it's about the same time, about 5 minutes ago, right? That's when it was created. And same thing happens on the server here. Let's oh, maybe not. I thought that's the keys too. Okay, so now this is a one-way connection here. If you do from here to here, ZMPT02 to ZMPT1 is gonna do the handshake again. Then it will create the hidden server here. So if we go into hidden server, hidden directory, and if you do ls-l, you see a file name that says known host. Okay, if I go into known host and you see the IP address of this server, the IP address is of this server here. Okay, and then if you look at this here, it saves its alphanumeric key. It saves it alphanumeric key which was sent in by ZMPT02. So let's see here if the key is matching or if the partial key is matching. So let's see here, if you look at the part of the key, fingerprint, ECSDA key, SHA2, okay, so this is the initial handshake. I think this is a different key here. This is a key that it will keep track of. Okay, if you connect to another server from here, it will input this information and then the key that was sent in here by the server here. So it is keeping a track of known host here. There is a lot of other stuff coming. Okay, so all this is generated by SSH copy ID. Okay, and this is not a Linux function here. SSH was developed by, let's see who developed SSH.
So you're saying that wasn't the same key that was exchanged?
It is a key here, but it is also this number. What we are seeing here is encrypted in this number here.
Okay.
Yeah. The number 2 here is this number is in here. We're not seeing it here, but if you look at this here, I think I could tell these are some of the information it's using it. The MAC address, this looks like a MAC address, IPA. Let's focus on last 4 octets, 08368F. So which one I was using here is no, it's not. It's not the information, it's not the MAC address it's using here. But this is encrypted here. This is an alphanumeric. And these keys are designed by cryptographers. Okay, this is what the cryptographers can see. All this number here is, you will never have same number with any other server. So it's a cryptographic number. So let's see here, I'm going to minimize this. Let's see when the SSH was developed. And oh my god, Secure Shell is cryptographic network protocol for operating system. History. Mm, 1995. I thought it was much older than that. Researcher, Finland, design. Oh, SSH1. But when was it? When is it coming from? It's a company name. OpenSSH. This is what it's. Or let's see here. OpenSSH is in history. No, this is OpenSSH. I want to know the SSH history. What is okay, so SSH is not new here, okay guys? I mean, I'm not gonna go any deeper than what it is. Making a connection from one server to another server. Okay, so I mean, we are out of time here, so I'm gonna leave it here and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Hopefully we could cover a little bit